Yeah, man. Give thanks and praise to the Most High Jah. You know what we say it? We have to let them know, say, oh, some guy we think them better than us, we better than them too. We're not just no dreadlocks, we are the real Nazi dreadlocks. Run for.
So family, you know what I mean? Family in Nigeria. We're linking up with family in Germany, same way. Of course, man. You know what I mean? How it goes. So yeah, let's just, you know what I mean, kick it off straight away. It's Black History Month. You know what I mean? I know that to certain degrees, especially with your the nature of your business, you know what I mean, you're somewhat kind of involved in those activities, you know, out there in Germany. So we're gonna you know what I mean, talk about the month, talk about your experiences, and you know, let our people get a feel of how, you know what I mean, how the thing goes on out there still. So the first question I'm gonna ask now is well, you were born and raised in AJ City in Lagos, which everybody know to be quite a rough, notorious zone, right? And I want you to tell us, you know what I mean, a little bit about your background, right? I mean, what was so from the stories, the ideology that people have of youths that come out of AJ, you know what I mean? Yours is like a complete contrast, so to speak, you know what I mean? Just going off the general notion that people have. Tell us a little bit about your background, you know what I mean, education, and you know, some of the things that you know, inspired you into, can I say, use the term, you know what I mean, turning out to be the person that you are today.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to say big thank you to you for giving me this opportunity. And I want to say greetings to everybody that's listening to us right now.
That's it.
AJ City is a breeding ground that has produced a lot of talent for Nigeria, be it in sports, education, and other activities. You know, we grew up in abject poverty. You know, AJ is that part of Nigeria that when people hear about it, people get scared. They think you come in there and you get jumped immediately. And actually, there are cases like that here and there. You know, AJ City used to be rough when we were growing up, but then that makes it how do you say, makes your parents to be more attentive.
Of course.
That awakens the attentiveness because they know you're living in a very rough and dangerous area. So they pay more attention to make sure that you come out good. Fantastic. You turn out to be it. And you know, because of the living situation in AJ, we are living in a very, how do I put it? In a system whereby there are too many people crowded in one apartment, in one room, in a house. There are lots of people. You have like families of 6, 8, 10 living in a single room. So we are all forced to be outside. I think AJ should be the model for a non-tribalistic Nigeria. You should look at it there. Because growing up in AJ, it is not my tribe against your tribe. It's my neighborhood against your neighborhood. So you find people of various tribes from all parts of the country coming together in one area and fighting against their own people from their own part, their own tribe again in other areas. It's not tribalistic this time around. It's about area versus area. So, and then this gives us
that close proximity living, you know what I mean, breeds room for that sort of development of that sort of gang mentality.
Yeah, then with that situation, you have the opportunity to learn from various cultures, various tribes.
Of course.
You learn different intricate things that awakens your knowledge, your mindset. You grow up want to survive. It's that survival instinct that leads us, people from AJ, to kind of, because you don't want to go back to where you are. You know where you're coming from, so you are aiming higher. So that level of mentality comes from that society that we were born into.
Nice one. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about the education, you know, in your education background still. What institutions did you go to? What institutions did you go to?
I schooled in Tolu village,
All right.
Reservation Secondary School too. Najeguli there. I just did up to secondary school level, and I traveled, came to Europe. I believe most of the education, most of the things that I'm doing right now, my books and all the stuff that I'm into right now is self-taught. It's because I'm interested. It's because I wanted to make an impact. I went into writing not because I wanted to make money off it, but because I felt I have some knowledge locked inside of me that I should put out there, and I want to be remembered for something, even though when I'm gone thousands of years out of this planet, out of this existence, I want to be remembered for something that is written, that's out there for others to learn from.
All right, fantastic.
All right, okay. Now let's come back this way. When did you realize your passion in writing, and where did you get the initial encouragement from?
Okay, I think it started in Finland.
Yeah, man.
Then I lived in Finland for about a year, and then I had a bit of time on my hands. I used to go to there's this particular setting they have in Finland. It's called Newspaper House. It's a place for reading news magazines and all stuff. Okay. And then it was this era when these computers were just, the era of computers started being in vogue. And so they have these computers there. So I used to go there, read magazines, go check my emails there. And then eventually I started thinking about writing stuff down. So I started writing with papers, started writing on sheet of paper. Although I've been involved in a bit of recreational activities back home in schools. Then we have this health and recreation club whereby we go and dramatize and do like all sort of stuff. There's been a little bit there, but it wasn't, people from my school days now look at me and think about, you're a science student in secondary school. We never looked at you as somebody who is going to go into literary works. But it's actually I got awoken in Finland because that sport that I used to go to, that reading sport, I started reading more things, and then I think that such places are very
okay.
No, but the funny thing, mostly in secondary school, then the teachers, when you just get to that stage, you say, okay, you are brilliant, go to the sciences. You are at this level, go to the arts. You are at this level, go. So they just divide you without thinking about your interests.
Now, I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question going back to when you said that you were in Finland, right? I'm assuming obviously that the material that you were reading, was obviously you found a place where you find material reading in English. I haven't been to Finland, so I don't know if it's widespread over there. Yeah. But I'm trying to understand. I'm also trying to ask, how have you, from your time, getting into Europe, up until now, how have you been able to kind of overcome the, can I use the word language barrier? Have you learned the languages, in the countries that you've kind of lived in as you've gone along? And, how was that experience for you?
Well, first of all, let me start from the reading aspect. In those kind of reading places, they do have stuffs in English. I even found some Wole Soyinka books there and the Chinua Achebe books in those reading places.
Fantastic. It's
called the Newspaper House. Just a small angles where you can go and read. And they have these stuffs in English. As per the language thing, if you're thrown into a situation where you have no choice, you find a way to survive.
Yeah, man.
I said it is set up.
Of course. Now you've written several books, right? Both for adults and children. You quite recently launched a children's book called Colors of Love, which has been published in English and German. But there's a particular book when I initially started kind of do my little research on you. There's a particular book that kept coming up with your name, and it's called Bunker Laboratory, right?
Exactly. That's the book here.
Yes.
It's titled Bunker Laboratory.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit? I think I was able to kind of maybe go through the preface, but can you tell us a little bit about the gist behind the story, because it was quite interesting what I...
Okay, I started writing this book when I from Finland, or when I came back from Finland, 2006, during the German World Cup. You know, before the World Cup, there is this apprehension in the atmosphere that we are scared of the Islamic terror attack, the Nazis, the German Nazis attack, because of the foreigners that was coming into the country.
Okay,
and eventually. During that time, there's a black guy that was attacked. In the book, if you read the book, there's a guy, I think from Ethiopia, that was attacked there. I don't know if he was murdered, but he was attacked. So in the course of this World Cup, 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, everything went smoothly. It was like a party in Berlin. It was having like a party in Berlin. So and I have been gathering my experiences. You know, initially when I came, if you come to Germany. If you step into the bus, you see these faces. They are just passive, non-smiling. You know, it corresponds to the stories we hear about Germans from back home. That they're not friendly. So, but eventually, you get into the train. You're actually scared because everybody's just either concentrated on reading or have this passive face. But something happened sometimes to me. We were going to the church in Berlin here. So we stepped into the train. There's a black guy in a corner there. We went and stood near him. So other black people came in. Before we know, we had about 3, 4, 5 black guys, black people in a corner, male and female. And we started having this discussion, started talking loud, and we started laughing. So there this couple, these Germans, they were looking at us and they were watching, and we were like, do you guys know each other before? We said no. So how do you come together and just start vibing and you're having good time? I said, then we started laughing. I said, this is how we are in Africa. Then the man said, can you all please pass this kind of vibe that you guys to the German said? So look at the train here. Everybody is just concentrated on their book and passing.
Everybody just minded.
So that led to me. I started thinking. Then I got into my creative vibe, and I came up with this story about a Nigerian girl, a student that came here and eventually saved the life of a Nazi. And eventually, the Nazi fell in love with her, and the love story led to the reason why the German World Cup was peaceful without any terror attack or stuff like that.
Okay, it is the Black History Month, and we are already into it, and we are here marking it the first edition in the month of February 2022. Okay, can you give us an insight of how Black History Month is being marked in Germany? Because we are talking to you straight from Germany, right?
Straight up.
So how is the Black History Month being marked in Germany?
Okay, this is very, very important to our survival. This month, I think it shouldn't be a month, it should be all through the year, if possible. Because there is much to feed the world about Black history. Because what is the way our history is being presented from slavery to now. Understand me? So like between us, we are planning several events. There are other organizations, there are other groups planning several events across Germany. But I think what we should use this month to do mostly is talk about our image.
Yeah, man.
They say one who controls your image controls your survival.
That's what it's true. True that.
It has always been our image. Somebody's voice, somebody's telling our story. When is it going to be our image, our voice, our story?
Straight up. Wow. I story. That's what the Rasta man say. When you do I story.
There's this event that I usually hold in Germany once every year. It's just this corona that's really been our problem. It's called Afro Bloggers Convention. We kind of bring bloggers of African descent from all over the world.
Because the
the power of the image control now is in our hands.
Yes.
Mm.
We need to be holding on to
Forget about the
strong
big
100%.
Individually, if we control the image, if we control our image, because before we go into a place, go look for job, go anywhere, we are being prejudged, prejudiced before we attempt to whatever we want to attempt, and that is because of the destruction of our image. So I think the Black History Month should be about taking back the control of our image.
So in particular, how do you get involved in all this celebration?
Okay, we are planning a live reggae festival, which we are preparing. We are working together with Ras here. We're trying to work out with Ras here how an event will have an evening whereby we have live reggae vibes and also discussions on the impact of music in the black struggle.
Nice.
What role has music played?
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. So let me get to the climax of this particular discussion. It's been a wonderful time talking to you, Samson.
All right. Now, Samson, how do you, with the celebration of Black History Month, you know what I mean, in Germany over there, how do you perceive that this celebration is helpful, you know what I mean, towards our Black youths who are, you know what I mean, being, you know what I mean, born and raised out there in Germany? How important is this celebration for them to, you know what I mean, at least I mean, as you said, a month is nothing, but you know what I mean, it's better than them not even having any knowledge at all about their history, where they're coming from. And so how do you see that is kind of helping their psychology? Because, you know, a lot of times from over here, we'll be hearing a lot of like negative news, which I think that obviously comes back to what you were saying about controlling the image. These people kind of only take the negative things, which, I mean, negativity is all around. But it's only that they seem to project about our people that's over there. Good.
I'll approach it from this angle. Initially, when we came to Germany, earlier on in Germany, you know, it was more, the youths are more gravitated towards the Americans. If you are not an American, you are not Black enough. Africans, we are looked down. This is where I want to say thank you to Nigerian youths and African youths for the effort and the good job they have done with Afrobeat music.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Nice.
Our entertainment industry definitely has done a lot to change.
Yeah, man.
The
narrative.
Yes.
The youths here, the Black kids that were born here, the mixed kids that were born here, have the reason to look at Africans now differently. They have a positive reason to want to know more.
Yes.
And now we have the opportunity. We should use the channel. That's why music should be the channel. This is the role of music once more, to feed them information, because some of them get informed easily by listening to music, by watching the videos and all this stuff. This is where we put pushing the knowledge and the cultural impact we want to have. What we have to push through this channel also. So it all boils down to education, and education in whatever form we can.
Fantastic. Final question that I have on the reverse side of things, right? With the Europeans, you know what I mean? And we projecting our world out there, you know what I mean, in their faces for 1 month. Is this helping them to better understand, you know what I mean, Black people and our culture, and, you know what I mean, helping them to be able to better deal with us? Do you see changes? You know what I mean?
Yeah, change is a gradual process. Change is a gradual process. The more we do with creating works, you know, like creating works like this. I created this book a long time ago. It's called The Rainmaker. It's called The Rainmaker, with images like this and the colors of love. You know, it's easier to educate the youth than the really old ones.
Those that are set in their ways.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
So I think we should use this opportunity to create more images. The power of images is enormous. You cannot quantify it. A child is born, the first education is get is what the child sees.
For real.
So if we're able to create such images, or like the colors of love, the colors of love talks about unity, bringing people together, how a unified force can conquer evil at any point, conquer evil. So if we start selling those images, those positive images about ourselves to these kids, and now they see themselves as equals. First of all, is to let them see us as humans, as equals.
That's what's up. That's where the scratch needs to come in first. That's the first scratch before we start digging, and you know what I mean, they expose the whole thing.
So me, I'd rather deal with the kids, creating more images of black superheroes like this.
Catch them from young.
For them to see. Yeah, because we growing up, we didn't have any image of black superheroes. We had the Superman. Everything that was superhero was white.
The people,
but now we have to go to that.
The people who are controlling it were projecting their own image. You know what I mean? First and foremost. But now that we have opportunities, let's run with it.
Exactly.
Yo, Samson,
exactly.
All right, been big. You know what I mean? Give thanks for linking up with us all the way from Germany. You know what I mean? Definitely, we're going to be doing more and more works. You know what I mean? Right about now, you'll become part of our
family,
Invicta 98.9 FM family. So
man.
There's more and more things that we're going to be discussing because, as I said, the whole idea of this interview series is that we want to give our people over here a taste. Let them, for those who can't travel out, let them hear the voice of their own brother who's out there telling them how the thing goes. You know, say it. All right, bro.
All right, so it's a pleasure.
I was a big up to you guys. Thank you very much. This has been an exciting time with you. I thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's do more work. We are open for everything. Thank you very much.
All right.
That's what it is set up.
There you go.
Respect.
Yeah, man. Give thanks and praise to the Most High Jah. You know what we see it? We have to let them know, say, some guy we think them better than us, we better than them too. We're not just no dreadlocks, we are the real naughty dreadlocks.